So, has something been signed yet? Yes or no? You don't know? Is that the answer?
Basically.
You don't know if something's been signed. So I'm wondering if something's been signed and you can't tell me if something's been signed yet.
There's nothing official yet.
There's nothing official. So we haven't come too late. Is that right?
It's never too late for anything.
It's not. Well, great. That's perfect.
And I've been educated to the point now where I seriously are reconsidering whether or not it's in our best interest.
We'll move on to the rest of the agenda at this point.
Well, I have the floor. And I brought my Robert's rules, and we have our town attorney, but I'd like to put a table of the tax abatement. You indicated it was not signed or official, and I would like to table it.
And the town attorney is indicating no.
That's right.
But I do believe that the public, if they want to have a right to speak to that, then they should. And I think that I don't see the reason why we can't have Niagara come. Let the public speak their concerns and what have you. Then we've had an opportunity to vet the situation, and we can then decide. I mean, either...
We can ask them to come to the next council meeting.
That's right. And you ought to come back.
You can come back then and ask your questions of Niagara.
But I think it might be too late at that point.
It was passed back on December 14th, basically authorized the town manager to sign an abatement agreement between the town of Bloomfield and Niagara Bottling that was in such form and manner and approved by the town attorney. The draft contract went back and forth several times. The final contract arrived today from Niagara. The town attorney reviewed it. It's prepared to be signed. I've signed it because I'm going into surgery tomorrow, and I may not be back in the office, but it has not been witnessed, it's not been notarized, and it's been, in essence, segregated on my assistant's desk until a decision is made based upon tonight's discussion as to whether the town wished to reconsider the motion that they made on December 14th, authorizing the abatement.
We certainly could, I think, repeal. We could certainly postpone. I think those would be proper motions to take action on. So, hearing no objections or our town council, our town attorney is here, then I guess I would propose then simply postponing the duty execution of the tax agreement at least until we've had an opportunity to further discuss it with Niagara and have a more of a public dialogue between the two companies, notwithstanding that our decision may be the same at the end of it, but at least give you...
Attorney Needleman, would you give your opinion on this, please?
What two companies?
What two companies?
Well, would you determine if there's a second to that motion? Because
it would second that.
Because it wouldn't be... Thank you.
The document was signed by Niagara based on your vote and was delivered here. I reviewed it, saw that it was the same document that had been presented in the December meeting, and therefore indicated to the manager that it was ready for signing from a legal point of view. I think there, frankly, are serious issues that could and may be raised if the town did not move forward with that agreement, and there certainly would be exposure to the town, the taxpayers of the town, if you did not follow through on what was a public vote and a contract that was prepared and entered into in good faith by all parties.
I'm not saying that we're going to... All I'm saying is that I think the motion on the floor, if I understand it correctly, is just simply to postpone this thing for a couple of weeks invite them, talk to them, and as I just heard, that alone the process. It's not the outcome, it's the process.
I don't think the motion is in order that's on the floor. However, there was no specific date by your resolution that the agreement had to be executed by, but I don't think your motion is in order.
Would you then tender a proper motion for us then, Councilor?
Well, I can't. There isn't one, okay? I've already...
Okay, can we take a vote on the motion? All those?
Well, Madam Mayor, I'm actually indicating that I think that the motion is out of order.
Well, then I'd like to amend the motion to just simply postpone.
Is there any limitation of this motion that would be acceptable?
Offhand, I'm not sure that there is, because frankly,
As you
any motion and action that you take other than to reaffirm and direct that the contract be signed forthwith could be subject to challenge. So I'm not going to suggest that you take action that could create jeopardy for yourself.
Crudely spoken, in other words, we could be sued.
That's certainly a possibility.
Would be out of order, but I guess you had indicated not necessarily tabling it, but allowing Niagara to come to the next meeting. We'd be able to do that, and then at that point in time, execute the contract.
What we're going to do is ask Niagara to come back as an informational situation for those people who are here so that they can hear the full presentation of Niagara, understand where they're coming from. But at this point, for us to withdraw the vote of December 14th leaves us open to lawsuits.
And my understanding of a contract is that when it's signed, it's signed. And if it's not, then it's open for some kind of discussion, whether it was a unanimous vote or not. If something else comes to light, which in this case happens to be public concern about a water bottling company coming to Bloomfield, if that is in fact the case, if my line of thinking is if Niagara, what is the harm in postponing for 2 weeks? 2 weeks of a delay in a signature is not postponing anything. It's not taking anything back. It doesn't open us up to anything legal. I'm sorry. In all of my expert opinion, which I don't have any of in the legal field, but in common sense, if they're interested in coming and interested in serving the town, a 2-week delay should not affect it. And if it does, there's something wrong with that company. And why is it so difficult for this board to say, yes, 2 weeks is not the end of the world. It's 2 weeks.
What I hear our town attorney saying is that if this council makes a decision to not sign for a period of time, that we are exposed to actions that could be taken.